My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. This is the only channel dedicated to UFC picks and DraftKings lineups run by professional fighters and MMA insiders. Every week, I join Nick Newell, professional fighter, professional model, and ESPN Top 10 guest, along with Dan Kramer, UFC fighter, Bellator fighter, Ultimate Fighter alumni, and Jacob Lyons, a skinny kid from Indiana. And we break down every single fight, the betting odds, the DraftKings picks, and we set you up for success. UFC 264, Poirier versus McGregor 3 is definitely the biggest card of the year. And what would it be if we didn't have a bunch of bets on it? So I am going to walk through all of my bets. Dan is going to walk through all of his bets. These are our bets. These are our actual bets. We're not telling you what to do. We're just telling you what we did so you can follow along and hopefully make some money with us. So Danny and I are split on a few of these, but let me walk through my bets, what I'm doing, and why. If you want to place any of these, and if you want the best match in the game, go to wewantpicks.com/bets. Grab yourself an option. You'll get a match. You'll get a bunch of free money. You can take our picks, and then let us know after you sign up and make a deposit, and we will send you $20 just for doing it as a thank you for the support. So, money line. I've got 4 fighters that I put money on. I have Yana Kunitskaya at -107. That's essentially even money. I think she's I know she's the more well-rounded fighter, right? She has better kickboxing, she has better grappling, and she mixes up her striking. The problem is her opponent, Aldana, has legitimate power and very good boxing. But I think the diversity is what's going to get this done for Kunitskaya. If she gets in trouble, she can shoot a takedown where Aldana doesn't have that option. Then I have Tai Tuivasa. I threw 2 full units on Tai Tuivasa. I got him at -135. That line has definitely moved. Tai Tuivasa is good, very, very good, and can compete with some of the best in the world. Greg Hardy is beating everybody that is like dipping their toe, just made it into the UFC debut. They're just different levels. There are levels in this sport, and Greg Hardy is a giant actual athlete. He's a professional football player, and that's like what 0.2% of human beings on the planet could do that. So he's an actual unbelievable athlete. But Tai Tuivasa is a very, very good technical striker with power and a head like a brick. He's got kicks and wrestling to back it up. I'm very confident in Tai Tuivasa, so I put 2 full units. And if you know me, I'm a conservative bettor, so 2 full units is a lot of confidence on my part. Then I have Hugh Yazong or Yazong Hugh at +130. I got this. This line is definitely moving, and I anticipate him being the favorite come fight night. He's coming down 2 full weight classes. He's going from heavyweight to middleweight. He looked absolutely amazing on the scale. He's got very good wrestling. He's got power. He's got decent striking ability. His record is not good, but when you're a 185-pounder fighting at heavyweight, that's what's going to happen to your record. And at the end of the day, his opponent is not very good. So I have a full unit on that as an underdog. If I would advise you to jump on that early before those lines move. And then I have Chris Motino. He's fighting Sean O'Malley. Listen, anytime you'll get +500 or above, you just got to give it a try. So I think Sean O'Malley blows through him. But you know what? +600, I'll throw a quarter of a unit on that. We'll see what happens. No skin off my back. We'll see. I'll make it up on all these other bets. So, and then prop bets. I have a few prop bets here. I have Conor McGregor wins by KO, TKO. I'm not proud of that one. What I should have done, and we talked about this the last breakdown, I should have just bet Conor to win by TKO in the first and Conor to win by TKO in the second and gotten like +400, +600. I'm too conservative for my own good. So I only have +150. So you can split that up and do it by rounds if you'd like. I did it across the whole fight, which honestly was not a genius move because it's either going to be in the first 3 rounds or not at all. So then I have Tavares Akhmedov. Fight does go the distance. Listen, I think Akhmedov wins this fight, but Brad Tavares is tough as hell. Very, very tough. He's not a guy that you can just blow through and put away. He's fought the toughest people on the planet. And this is going to be jockeying for position. This is going to be Akhmedov looking for takedowns, Tavares looking to keep it on his feet. Both guys are very tough. I think it goes the distance. It's -200, but I'm very confident in that outcome. Then I have Duplessis Giles under 2.5 rounds, -105. That's a tricky one because they're both pretty tough, but all of Giles' losses are by stoppage. Every single Duplessis fight is by stoppage, win or lose. And I think it's going to be, Giles is typically a slower fighter, but I think Duplessis is just going to bring it to him and pull it out of him. So I think that this fight is going to end early. And I took my under on rounds other than does not go to a decision. Does not go to a decision was minus 200 or something. The under on rounds, minus 105. That's almost even money. Then I have Burns-Thompson does go the distance at minus 130. It's going to be a really tough fight. I'm actually more interested in that fight than some of the others, but it's going to be a tough fight, an interesting fight. Thompson's going to be bouncing in and out. Burns is going to be looking to close the distance. Thompson's got a really good chin, and I don't think Burns can put him away, and I think Thompson just picks apart Burns over 3 rounds. So I took that at minus 130. Then I have Ryan Hall wins inside the distance, but a decision is no action. So I have Ryan Hall losing this fight. But I do think he's tough, and I don't think he's going to get put away. With that being said, this bet basically means if Ryan Hall pulls off his freak submission skills, just throws up something and doesn't heel hook out of absolute nowhere, I get paid, I win my bet. If Ryan Hall gets beat the hell up for 3 rounds and it goes to the decision, I get my money back. I get a refund. It's like the bet never happened. So I took that bet. That is still plus 200. So I can still double my money on that. And I have a bunch of insurance baked into it. The only way I don't get paid is if Ryan Hall gets stopped, which anything's possible. It's a fist fight, but he is a tough guy. So that's a very unique prop bet. You are only going to get that at WeWantPicks.com/bets. So grab that or one like it, because the win inside the distance, decision, no action, anytime you can get an insurance bet like that, you should take it. And then finally, I have Tuivasa wins inside the distance at plus 155. Again, there's levels to this, and I think Tuivasa absolutely gets it done. I don't think it's an early stoppage. I think Greg Hardy will gas himself out hunting for one. Even if he touches Tuivasa, his head is so hard. He's going to gas out, going to get frustrated. Then Tai Tuivasa is going to put it on and get it done. Those are my bets. This is more than usual for me, but it's a giant card, so we'll see what happens. Danny boy.
I like them. I like your bets this week. I like a lot of them. There's a couple I'm going against you on, but overall, I thought that was really good.
Yeah, I forced some early, which I shouldn't have done, but I'm liking the later ones. The prop bets I'm more confident in than anything.
Yeah. The Mcgregor KO one. Yeah.
That was so stupid of me. The fact that I didn't do first round and second round and even third round for the same amount of money in, but the the possibility for 4 times the money out was so dumb. But whatever. Yeah. Learn from my mistake.
He's going to get a 5th round knockout now. Yeah. All right. So I added a couple prop bets since our last video.
Wait, sorry. Hold on real quick. Dan has 2 full slides of bets. These are not all of Dan. So he has an issue. We're working through it, but it's a big week. So we're just leaning into it this week so you guys can get what you're here for. So why don't you walk through this slide, then we'll move to your second slide worth of bets.
And we're gonna go live later tonight too. And honestly, there might be a 3rd slide by then. I'm talking to my therapist to try to avoid that, but right now we're at 2 slides. So first up, I added in Amari Akhmedov plus 3.5 points at minus 150. So that basically means that he just needs to win 1 round or get finished or get a finish. So he can win by knockout, he can win by submission, or he can lose a decision 29-28, and I still get paid on my bet. So you eat a little bit on the odds, so I got minus 150. But the way I see this fight going is Akhmedov's wrestling is going to be a factor. I think at least the first round, the second round, he's going to get takedowns, and I think he's going to win those rounds. I think he's going to win the fight as well. I've got him in some parlays. But in a lot of his fights, he has gotten tired, and his opponent is very good and defends takedowns well. So I thought this was a safe play. All he's got to do is get 1 round. I think the wrestling should do that. And as long as he doesn't get finished, I will bank that bet at minus 150. So I got a unit there. Then I got directly up against Angelo, Ilia Topuria wins by KO, TKO. This is one where it really depends on how Topuria fights the fight, what his game plan is. if I were him, I would, we talked about in our other video, I would pressure with punches, go to the body, go to the head. He's got very good boxing that looks to be improving. He's got power in his hands. And anytime, what's his name, goes for one of those Imanari rolls or tries to scramble to the ground, disengage, stand him back up, and start throwing hooks. If he does that the whole fight, I think there's no doubt he's going to catch him at some point and put him down. So I did a TKO in all 3 rounds. The later it comes, the better for me. Round 1 is almost kind of a hedge bet against the other 2, make a little bit of money. But if it happens in the 2nd round or the 3rd round, I'll get a nice little payout. So I'm hoping he gets a knockout. Then we got the Poirier McGregor fight, main event. So I got a lot of action on this one. So I got Poirier wins inside the distance plus 140. I got a unit there. I think he is going to finish this fight. And then the following bets will tell you how I think it's going to go down. So I think McGregor will be better this fight. I think he's going to be in better shape. I think he's probably going to have a little bit of a better game plan. But I don't see the fight going much differently other than it probably will last a round or 2 longer. Unless McGregor lands a big shot early, first or beginning of the 2nd round, I think from that point on, it's Dustin Poirier's fight, and he's going to dominate. So if Poirier comes out and wrestles early, McGregor's already making comments like, "Oh, first one to shoot," blah blah blah. It's like, I think he's very worried about that because he knows that changes things up, and he is not going to have that same pop in the later rounds. And to be honest, he's never really been a 5-round fighter in terms of cardio. So other than the Diaz fight we talked about in another video, there were points in that fight where he was literally running away. He was so tired. So you do that against Poirier, and he is going to do that little hop step, follow up with some big power shots, and put him away. So I got him in rounds 3, 4, and 5 to get a finish at ridiculous odds, 10-1, 14-1, and 22-1. And then my last prop on Poirier is wins by submission plus 750. Poirier's got great submissions. He just hasn't had to use them, I think, because he enjoys striking so much, and he gets a lot of wins by knockouts, and he gets in these fight of the night type fights. But with McGregor, again, hoping that game plan early on is to get some takedowns and get in the clinch, I could see him snatching up a Darce or a guillotine. So at almost 8-1 odds, considering how I think he should fight this fight to win it, I could see a submission becoming available at some point. Or if McGregor gasses out in the later rounds and gets taken down and flattened out, he could get rear naked choke. So I don't know that it's a likely outcome, but for 8-1 odds, I think it's a good value bet. So I did a half unit on that as well. So if Dustin Poirier wins by submission in the 5th round, it's going to be a good night.
Yeah, I mean, you're all over the Dustin pick, and I totally get it. I mean, I think Conor wins just based off of the fact that early in that fight he did touch up Dustin. I think he'll just be more prepared. But I mean, Dustin is obviously phenomenal, and if he wins this fight, I will not be surprised, and I don't think anybody else will either. So why don't you walk us through your second slide?
Yeah. I will say too, and it kind of hit me last night when I was watching the press conference. Man, the fans and McGregor going back to his old ways. Poirier is mentally tough and just a solid dude all around. But I don't know. I mean, that would mess with me when he's up there talking about your wife. And I mean, Poirier is a professional, and he's at a point in his career where he's not going to let it bother him. I'm pretty confident in that. But when I was watching that press conference, I'm like, man, that's got to suck. Every time you talk, they're booing. Every time he says any joke, they're cheering. It's like, it's a different atmosphere than it was in their last fight. So we'll see if that's a factor. But it definitely felt like, okay, this is McGregor the way he used to do things. So yeah, we'll see what that looks like. Anyways, money line bets. I got Tai Tuivasa minus 135. I got a unit there. Angelo talked about it. I think Greg Hardy is very live in the first round. He's powerful, explosive. He's a heavyweight, very athletic. Other than that, I think Tuivasa is an overall better fighter, and Hardy tends to get tired in the later rounds. So I think Tuivasa is going to take his best shots, land better shots, and the longer the fight goes, I think Hardy's going to get tired, and Tuivasa is going to beat him up. So I like those odds. I don't know what they're at now. I'm sure Tuivasa is a bigger favorite. Then I got Michelle Pereira, money line, -155. I got a unit and a half on that one. I think he's just a better overall martial artist. Nico Price is very tough. He can make things happen. But, man, if we see the same Michelle Pereira we saw last fight where he fought calculated, used his skills, wasn't out there doing cartwheels and backflips and somersaults, and actually fought an MMA fight using his talent and using his skills, I think we're going to see a really good show out of him. So, and Nico Price is the sort of guy that's going to bring the action out of him too. So we'll see how it goes. But I like Michelle Pereira just based on his skills and athleticism. As long as he's focused, I think he's going to win this fight. Then I got a couple parlays. So I got first one to Ivasa. I have Aldana, which she missed weight now. I'm a little sketchy on that one.
Yeah, you placed that like a week ago.
Yeah, I had that one a while ago. And then I had Akhmedov. Again, I think he has power in his hands, or could win a decision based off wrestling. And then I really should have just done one of these, and it should have been my second one. Just done the we'll call it the ATT parlay. So I got Poirier, Zumagulov, who's a heavy favorite. He's training at ATT now. Skills are sharpening. And he's actually looked really good in some of his recent fights. Even when he lost, he looked good. And then again, I have Akhmedov, another ATT guy. So got basically 5-1 odds on that one. So a couple parlays for some fun. One's really just a root for the ATT guys who I think will all win. And yeah, that's what I got for now. Might have a couple more tonight when we go live. So we'll see. We'll see if we're going to get a third slide or not.
If you like any of these bets, go to weonpicks.com/bets, grab a promo. I'm telling you, that +3.5 bet that Dan walked through in his prop bets, this one here, Amari Makhmedov +3.5 points, you will not find that anywhere else. You're basically buying yourself an entire round on the judges' scorecards. It's if you think a fight will go to a decision, you grab the underdog, you grab that bet, and you're basically guaranteed to win your bet. So go to weonpicks.com/bets, grab an option. After you make your deposit, reach out to us. Say, hey, guys, I created my account. Here's my username. I'll Venmo you $20 as a thank you for supporting us and supporting the channel. Let us know your favorite picks, bets, and plays down below, and we will see you live on Friday night, live on Saturday, and we'll see you for the fight.